Alright, hello. Welcome to my Pikmin 3 All Fruits tutorial. Basically, I'm just going to do a run through of the route and try to explain things as I go.
20XX.
First thing to note, a lot of cutscenes are skippable by pressing plus. Just sort of something you want to do a lot. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to skip a little pop-up window by going down first, or you hold up and right, and just a little bit lower than that, and you miss one of the text boxes. That wastes a little bit of time. Day one is pretty easy. There's not really much you can screw up. It's just kind of a tutorial day. Here you whistle all your Pikmin. Destroy some of the mushrooms to get through. Whistle these. I like to throw about 19 or so on this mushroom, and then activate the pop-up window, which I did a little bit too early. So one important thing to note is that you can recenter the camera by pressing Z, like that. So that's something I'm going to be doing a lot during the run. It's really your only method of controlling the camera. So you can run in a direction and press Z, and that will move the camera to that direction. So now we have to build this bridge. We only get 4 Pikmin. There's really nothing else to do at this point, so we just like to push them. So I'll take this time to mention that the fastest controller scheme for this is Wii Remote and Nunchuck. You do need a gamepad as well for this category. It helps a little bit to try to push one a little bit further during that last cycle, because they like sort of build the bridge in 2 separate cycles there. And here it helps to keep one just a little bit behind, because you need to whistle like 3 of these ideally before this cutscene starts. And then you whistle the last one right now. Then you get out your gamepad. So for this, you want to have your gamepad set to stylus mode, and that comes up sort of later in the run. Alright, you slide over to the Drake. Try not to miss these throws. 1, 2, and then 3. It's okay if you don't have 3. It's okay if you only have 2. The last one would be coming a little bit behind. I like to break this and then get him to knock down the 5 pellets so that it's down when you come back. You get back here, a cutscene will play, and the seeds will grow during the cutscene. So now, when you're plucking in this game, the fastest way to pluck is to press A and then immediately cancel your pluck by pressing B. And then manually run over to the next sprout. So you kind of have to pay attention to where the sprouts are, because you're going to run over and pick them. Alright, so now you should have 9. Try to throw at least 8 of them in front of you. And then we're going to kill these shear grubs. You can actually hit them. So that's kind of a slow way of doing it. You can check out like the world record video to see better execution. So yeah, the way you should do that is you should throw 1 in front to spawn them, then you throw 3 more to take out the other 3. Then you collect the 5 pellet and then the 1 pellet. And it is important that it's like ideal that you get the shear grubs first, because they're a little faster. And then you should go back and support this. Yeah, sorry, I'm a little bit rusty. If you want to see perfect execution of the route, then you'll have a better time by checking out the world record for this category. Alright, so you should have 21 at this point. Another thing to mention is that leaf Pikmin are really slow. So it's fast to like throw them in front of you as you're moving. Although this is really only relevant on day 1 and day 2. Later in the run we're going to have all flowers, or mostly flowers, wherever it matters. And to close out the day, we just break down this wall. Fastest thing to do is just throw all 21 Pikmin that you have on it. Again, that is not perfect execution of day 1. One advanced strategy that I'll briefly mention is, oh sorry, for the end of the day you want to switch to the gamepad and have it set on stylus mode. The fastest way to scroll through text is to tap on the screen of the gamepad. You can use that screen to make sure that you have the Pikmin counts that you're supposed to have. And the fruit counts. Yeah, so one thing I didn't cover that's a more advanced strategy is something called a seed manipulation. Basically, when any sort of thing returns to the onion, there's a delay before the seeds get spit out. But if something enters the onion while it's already spitting out seeds, then the onion will continue to spit out seeds without having that delay. And there's something you can do on day 1 to make sure that that happens, and that saves some time. A couple seconds. Nothing really that important, unless you're at the top level. Okay, so this has a very particular route. We're going to call it 21 Pikmin. We're going to throw 8 on the wall. 1 over here. Throw 5 off to this side. We're going to throw 7 across. Try not to miss that throw. Okay, we call these 7, and we're going to run down here. You can give it a little delay, otherwise they might run into the bubble loop. Not that long. I'm just like trying to explain it. So you can click on this wall and then charge. And I'll do that again because this guy didn't go. Obviously you want to do that a lot faster. You'll come back, get these 5, throw 3 on the bulb orb. They'll probably try to grab the bridge pieces. You only want 1 on the bridge pieces and 3 on the bulb orb. Then we're going to whistle this guy, and we're going to find the butterfly. It can be either there, or it can be over here. Let me get the butterfly. Grab some extras. If you grab them in time, you can throw more on the bulb orb. Okay, we're going to add 6. Oh no, we're going to add 6 to that, so now there's 7 total carriers. And then we'll pluck the remaining 7. And we'll get these guys. We'll throw 1 onto this pellet, and the other 14 on these pieces. If you do it fast enough, you'll end up waiting for the wall. I'm going to slow this guy down so he doesn't collide with the bridge carriers. I guess I'm going to be going a little slow because I have to explain things, but that's okay. Normally if you do this at the right speed, you'll have to wait for the wall at the very end too. Okay, so you're going to come over here, cancel that lock on. You're going to get both of these pellets, and then you're going to charge this guy. And he should die. Pulse him back, so that there's 10 on that guy. At least 10. It doesn't really matter how many you have. You only need, I think, like 11 or 14 to complete this. If you have fewer, you can get the strawberry with rocks instead. That's fine. But you need at least 11 reds at this point. Alright, so now we're going to talk about slurkers. So there's sort of like two states a slurker can be in. If he, like he can be in a rotating state where like he will follow the captain around, and in that case you just throw your Pikmin on him and you run around him in a circle and he'll continually try to look at you and you can just kill him. If that doesn't happen, he's going to shake the Pikmin off. And the best thing to do is to just whistle the Pikmin off right before he shakes. And since he's moving away from me, I think he's going to be looking at me. He's going to try to look at me when I walk up to him. So I'm just going to throw all my Pikmin on him. Nope, he's not looking at me. So right before he goes, I'm going to shake. And now he's going to start looking at me. And then you just run around him in a circle and throw your Pikmin on him. So this crystal takes 10 hits. You have 6 rocks. This crystal also takes 10 hits. You throw 6. 4 more. Then you collect these 3 pellets. Collect your reds. Throw 3 rocks and 3 reds there. You don't actually want to add any more carriers to these because it'll help you get a seed manipulation. It'll spit out more seeds if you don't add any. And now you're going to be plucking 14 rocks. It's really easy to lose a lot of time in this cave. You should end up with 20 rocks, and you should have the same amount of reds that you came in with. Okay, so now I want to get myself down to 11 reds, so I'm going to throw 4 reds on the strawberry. Each of these crystal walls takes... So you want to like charge the crystal walls. Each one takes 28 charges. And now we're going to do a fast strat here. I'm going to throw... let's see, I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to throw 16 rocks at this wall, and then I will continue running with my reds and the remaining rocks. Now you want to throw your reds ahead of you because they're slow, they're leaves. And we're going to throw... I forget what the route is. It's either 4 or 5. I think 5 is right. Okay. And now that wall is going to break. So if you do that too slow, then the wall will break and you'll get teleported back, and then you'll have to make a separate trip to get the strawberry. It's just faster to do it this way. Okay, so now you're going to throw the remaining 6 reds across. You're going to switch to Brittany. Put the 6 reds on the line. Whistle Elf. So I lost some rocks there. The fastest thing to do is to continually whistle your Pikmin behind you. Okay. The other thing there is a data file. Doesn't hurt you if you collect them, you just lose the time, like the 2 seconds it takes to collect it. So try to avoid them. It looks like I collected the strawberry. That doesn't really matter. It's ideal to like not collect the strawberry. If you do this slow enough, you'll end up with some budded reds, which isn't really something you want, but it's fine. If you do it fast enough, you won't have any budded reds. Okay, so this is the only data file you collect. This data file lets you use the go here command. So we'll use that a lot later in the run. Okay, so we're going to come over here. We're going to throw all of our rocks across first, because they can get hit by the fire. Try to throw your captain a little bit earlier than the rest of your Pikmin too. And we switch to this captain. And we're going to be building the entire bridge. So I'm going to throw... Yeah, here's my memory's failing me. I'm going to throw 8 rocks off to the side. Or maybe it's only 6. I think it's actually 6. I'm going to throw 6 rocks off to the side. And ideally, the Pikmin that you throw off to the side here are leaves, because you want the buds to be helping carry stuff back. Yeah, so ideally you throw 6 leaf rocks. And a better way to do that is to like pre-sort them as you're doing the first throw. Okay, so these guys are going to charge the wall. Looks like I got a couple extras with me. Okay, so 3 on this pile. And then 3 rocks on this pile. Everyone else is over here. Okay, so I'm going to switch to the other captain. We're going to be whistling the 11 Pikmin that should be over here. Yeah, see, we collected 2 fruits, we got 11. Now here's a little bit of RNG. I think the best way to do this is like throw 5 and 6. You want to throw 5 on one of the blowhogs and 6 on the other. If the blowhogs are like really close to each other, then sometimes it's ideal to throw 5 reds onto this thing instead of one of the blowhogs, because sometimes the reds won't latch onto the blowhog. That's kind of it. Okay, after you throw them on, the wall should be done. You should be able to get here before the walls finish. And then you go on to the Modad fight.
Yay! Timmy, Tommy.
So the Modad fight, we run off to the left and we switch to rocks. And we want to hit his tail 10 times. Do not throw at this point because he might flick his tail upwards and then it makes it really hard to hit him with the rocks. What you want to do is wait till he stops and then throw 10 rocks. Okay, so now a lot of different RNGs can happen. He's going to stop somewhere on the wall and you just charge his tail. There's only one pattern that lets you one cycle him, so it's not really a big deal if you don't get the pattern. It almost never happens. Okay, so he has a little bit of health left, which is not ideal, but what you want to do in that case is dodge his attack, sort of like spam reds, wait till he stops, throw a bunch of reds, and then try to kill him with your rocks. So how the Modad works is he is not allowed to die if he is on the wall. So you have to like kill him there before he ends up on the wall. Okay, so now we've killed him. We throw all of our rocks onto the phone. Hopefully you have 3 buds if you did this right. I think that was 20. No, that was not 20. Oh, that was 20, okay. And then the other ones go onto the dragon fruit. And then we're going to go here. So how go here works is you like slide the screen and get the cursor where you want to end up going. And there's a play button in the top right corner. If you hit the play button, then the game will continue running while you hit it. So like the optimal way to do go here is go here and then immediately play. So tap the screen and hit the play button and then start sliding across. And that will let you that will let the pieces like move while you're doing the go here. And that saves some time. Okay, so now I'm forgetting what the red is. It looks like both the blowhogs got collected, which is optimal. So I'm just going to pluck these reds. And our really only other goal is to grow a couple more reds. So I'm going to get this. And then we also want to break down this wall. You can also, yeah, like I mentioned earlier, you can make things go faster by whistling. Since the butterfly here is, I'm just going to get that too. You want to like walk over here as well, because you're going to use a go here there. And you can only go here to places that you've already visited. Okay, so it sounds like that bridge is done. We're going to collect our rock Pikmin, and we're just going to wait here with Elf, I guess. Come back here, we'll pluck our other 6. That wall will be done by the time we get there. We want to walk into that room because later we're going to use the go here function to walk into that area. This was a little bit slow, but I think I'll make it in time. You got it, okay. So I'm going to walk into this room. I want to walk forward. And you see the phone was collected there. So now I'm gonna get the pieces off, get the Pikmin off the dragon fruit, and end the day. You should have no deaths on day 2. Alright, and then for every day you switch to the gamepad for the end of the day cutscene.
보스 닥터가 쪼원. 스쿠프 페요 템프르.
So coming up on day 3 is the first like Wiimote only trick. So hopefully you're using the Wii remote. It's a lot faster than the Pro Controller or the gamepad. If you want to see what's possible with the Pro Controller only, you can check out Ghostly's video. Or Ghostly's PV. He uses the Pro Controller. Also, I want to mention that you can switch controllers during the day without losing that much time. So if you have a Pro Controller, you can switch to the Wii Remote for the Wii Remote only tricks. And all you lose is the time switching. Although I recommend you just use the Wii Remote. Alright, so our goal for the start of day 3 is to grow 20 yellow Pikmin and then exit the cave. We need 20 to move the iron ball. And we also need 20 later in the day to kill the Phosbat. Alright. You can try to run over to there while this cutscene happens. And note that the the yellow Pikmin get flowered when they conduct electricity. So we get these 5 1 pellets first. I find that it's a little easier to aim at the base of the pellet than the top part. Okay, we're gonna get those 3, whistle them back, and pluck the 4 that are waiting for us. And we'll throw all 7 onto that 5 pellet. We'll come back. There should be 3 waiting for us, and we'll add them to help carry this 5 pellet. So here I'll set up for a spawn seed manipulation. You want that 1 pellet to come in just before the 5 pellet. And you see it shot out 3 of the seeds from the 5 pellet ahead of time. And you can slide down this before the ball moves. And you don't actually have to take any of your yellows with you out of the cave. They'll automatically teleport to you. Okay, we start the day. We switch to Elf. You can pull Pikmin multiple groups at a time by holding Z. So we just do that. Alright, we're going to throw 1 Pikmin here. I feel like I need to consult my notes for this. We're going to throw... I think it's 14 reds and 6 rocks across. Or maybe, no, I think it's 14 reds and 4 rocks. We're going to collect this pellet as well to trigger a cutscene. And we collect the cherry. You can just throw a red up there, it'll automatically collect. Alright, these yellows, try to avoid the snitch bug. Just get them started on this electric gate. So that's the cutscene I was talking about. That's like the you have too many Pikmin cutscene. Okay, so we're going to start this by charging. We're going to switch to rocks. Throw 10 on that to break it, and we're going to throw 6 behind this guy. And they'll take care of him. You might get a death, but it's okay. You kill these guys. They're pretty easy, just throw a bunch on their back. While that's happening, you can break this crystal. It takes 3 rocks. Throw 3 reds on these bridge pieces. That's pretty important. Let's see, and then we're gonna leave those. We're gonna get those later. Okay, so now we're gonna come over here. You're gonna throw 5 reds on the blowhog. Throw at least 1 rock ahead of you, and you're gonna come up here. So you're gonna throw it next to the armored cannon beetle. Grab this, whistle your red, and then charge. Or whistle your rock and then charge. And he'll break that without getting hit by the armored cannon beetle. And then you use go here to return to where you left your Pikmin. And then you switch to Brittany, and you're gonna run over here and whistle the Pikmin that you threw over earlier. you just continue to whistle them, they'll jump out of the water on their own. And you can switch to Elf, and then you can switch back to Elf. I want to stop that blowhog. I did it a little bit late. Okay. So this next part is kind of important you do fast, because no matter where you throw these breads, the amp rats can get to them. You don't want that to happen. So you throw 10. I try to keep them as far away as possible. And we're going to kill this guy with rocks as we walk by. We're going to throw 7 reds. Yeah, that's at least 7. I might have thrown more. And try to throw at least 15 onto that. We're going to collect that. Whistle our rocks back. So we're trying to grow a couple rocks during this whole process. It looks like the amp rat got them, so we gotta whistle these guys before anything too bad happens. We want to come over here and charge them onto the... So I did not get enough. Okay, there's 4 more. Okay, we have a couple extras now. We're gonna collect the strawberry. And we want to collect these with rocks, ideally. I don't have enough rocks with me. We're going to whistle our 7 that we threw earlier. I threw 8, that's fine. And charge the grapes. Then we go here with Elf to about this area. Okay, so now we're going to switch to breathing. Try to avoid the stitch bug. Okay, so throw 3 rocks here. Whistle them back. Three more rocks here, this time you can leave them. So I'm going to kill the Whip Tongue Bulborb so I can show a basic trick. He's in a really bad position, I'm going to try to get him to turn around. So to kill him, you throw on his eyes, and you charge. And then throw on his eyes again. Okay. So he's out of the way. In a normal All Fruits run, I'm going to do this next trick with him in the way, but to show it off, I'll kill him so he's not in the way. Alright, you're going to throw 5 reds up here. And then throw the other Pikmin you have up here. Looks like I brought too many reds. I don't think you need to bring so many. Okay, so this is the dodge whistle trick. It's probably the hardest technical trick in the game. So once you collect the dodge whistle, you use it by pressing left and right on the control pad. You want to line the camera up like this, so you're parallel to this slope. You want to be about right here, your positioning is very important. You use the dodge whistle, hold down left, or you hold down right along the slope. I would say I hold somewhere between right and down right. This sort of just takes a lot of practice. You kind of got to get a feel for it. And then once you get around to this area, you're going to hold up. You're going to adjust and hold up. And I think I missed it. Yeah. I was just a little, I just didn't get enough. So, but it's pretty straightforward. You can just do it again. And then that's what it looks like if you do it. Yeah, it looks like I brought too many reds. I forget what the right number is. But what you do is you throw 1 red on the cherry. And all you need up here is at least 20 Pikmin. It doesn't really matter what type they are. Throw 20 onto the iron ball. And then you drop down. So that's a really big reset point right there. Try to take that really safe. Make sure you get all 20 on the iron ball before you drop down. Try not to miss any of your throws if you have a precise number. You want to be standing about where I was, right here. If you're too close, you'll throw them into the invisible wall. If you're too far away, you'll throw them into the invisible wall. There's a pretty big invisible wall around here. And it's easier if you use yellows because they're thrown higher. Okay. So now you just got to collect all the Pikmin that you brought with you. Yeah. And you enter this cave. So we're gonna light it up. Fastest way is to break the right run with 3 rocks. helpful to do this part fast because if you're a little slow, then some Pikmin may fall out of your party going around that corner. Okay, around this time I like to check over on the right side. It lists what fruit you've collected. So I've collected the orange, which is a good thing. If you get unlucky, the orange sometimes is not collected. And this really not a fast backup. If you're doing a speed run, I would just reset. But you can also just go get it later. It's not a big deal if reds die, because you have way more than you need for the rest of the run. Okay, so next we're going to do the Phosbat fight. I think I threw too many reds over. You probably only need like 7 or 8, but that doesn't really matter. Okay, so you want to get this bag down. You're going to need that later. And then you switch to Alf. So Alf is in a position where he can whistle all of the Pikmin that are at the base. So you can whistle them all, switch to Brittany, whistle Alf, whistle the Pikmin that were on the bag, and then enter the cave. So that's called a long whistle trick. And you can see that all the Pikmin that were here have teleported to me. Despite there not even being a path that would let them get into the cave. So we're going to be abusing that throughout the run quite a bit. Okay, so now you check where the Phosbat is. Looks like he's following me, so I'm going to throw 10 yellows into this electric wire. And then next I'm going to throw my captain off to the side. I'm going to go down this side of the Phosbat, some more Pikmin latch on, and charge him. I accidentally dismissed. You're supposed to charge there. And here we're going to be doing a throw. So you want to line up with this root. The easiest way to do this is use your cursor and then press Z. Then you run forward and throw. Just like that. And I'll come back to that trick at the end of the day so I can showcase it a little more. That one can be kind of troublesome. Okay, you want to throw 20 yellows up here. If a couple of your yellows were lost, that's no big deal. You can create more yellows. You can create up to 5, I think, by using that candy pop bud. Just throw some reds in. It's fine if you lose some reds. Alright, and now we're going to be doing the Phosbat fight. So whistle your 20 yellows, whistle the other captain, and we're going to run up and charge him. Okay, so whistle your Pikmin off, switch to your yellows, and you have to do this part fast, but you want to throw like 10 or 11 yellows to trigger this light, knock him down again. It's also fine if you just like throw the yellows directly on him. It's a little bit slower. If you knock him down the first time, he'll like almost always go this way. You can knock him down again with the light. Okay, so that was a 3 cycle, which is you can get that was a 4 cycle. You can get a 3 cycle. Okay, let's go back to that other trick. I'll show you what you can do as a backup. So normally you would just end the day right after this, but I'll show this trick off. If you miss and you're a little short like this, you can still run up this slope from like pretty far down. Like you can run up the slope from here. You just hold straight up. And when you get to this part, you hold like up and slightly to the right. It's a little bit slower, but it's a backup. Okay, so we have enough Pikmin. If you do this part fast enough, like you'll also get the grape carriers, so they're gonna die. But if you do it fast enough, you can get to them in time. And then this guy carrying the cherry is gonna die. If you're unlucky, sometimes the cherry will be stuck here, and you'll have to collect it on day 9. You just have to be aware of that fact. But he's here, so that's fine. That's what you want. Oops. Alright, end the day. Okay, so I would say that days 3 through 7 are the hard parts of this run. Days 1 and 2, there's not really much that can go wrong in terms of like catastrophes. And days 8, 9 are less hard. day 10 is like,
좋아.
day 10 is pretty tricky, I guess. But yeah, in my opinion, day 4 is the hardest day. So that's what we'll be doing next. And day 4 introduces bomb rocks. Bomb rocks are probably the single biggest source of potential catastrophe in a run, because bomb rocks are routed very specifically. If you accidentally throw a bomb rock, it explodes, and then you can't use it for what you needed it to use, or what you needed to use it for. So when you have bomb rocks, you gotta be really careful.
possibly.
Alright, so to start off day 4, we're going to pull at least 20 yellows and at least 17 rocks. It's nice to have some reds, so I start by getting a couple reds first and then pulling the rest of my party. I guess I didn't grow that many rocks, so it didn't really matter what I just did. Okay, so then here is sort of the first day where we do a lot of multitasking, and we do it with all 3 captains. And the route is sort of chosen in such a way that, like, the captains that you use help you remember the route. So I would recommend trying to copy which captains I use in the situations that I use them. There's a fixed order for switching between captains. When you press the minus key, if you have Elf, you'll go to Brittany, Brittany will go to Charlie, Charlie will go back to Elf. Okay, so to start off this day, I'm going to throw Charlie here. I'm going to throw Brittany across the bridge. Now I'm going to throw 18 yellows, 10 reds, 15 rocks. So I'll have 43. Throw 4 Pikmin on there, charge the rest on the wall. Doesn't matter what color for that. Okay, you whistle Elf. Charge this wall. That was a little bit close for my taste. If you do that faster, that guy won't be a problem. It's really important that he doesn't get any though, because you need a very specific number. Okay, so now we're doing this clip. This clip's very easy. You just walk into this little alcove, and the game kind of forces you into it. And you put the cursor sort of by this line. And then you press B. It never works the first time. It very rarely works the first time. So you press B, Alf will teleport in front of you. Then you press A again to pick him back up, and then you press B again, and then he should be clipped out of bounds most of the time. Like, this trick's pretty easy. And then once you get this, you press, you shake the nunchuck, dismiss. Okay, and then you run over here with Charlie. If you do that part too slow, the ball orb can figure out that there are Pikmin over here, and you can start eating some, and that's really bad, because you need a very specific number of Pikmin once again. Okay, you're gonna whistle the Pikmin, and you're gonna kill the ball orb. Again, hit its eyes, preferably with the rocks. Charge, hit its eyes again. In this case, I didn't need to hit its eyes again, because it died so quickly. Okay, now we're gonna switch to Brittany. We're gonna whistle our Pikmin off. And we're going to throw 13 yellows, or at least 10, but more than 10 ideally. And you kind of hope that he doesn't grab any. And then 4 rocks on that. You don't have to wait for those guys. Usually they'll be fine. You can grab ones in this. Okay, you throw 10 up there. I might have thrown more. 2 yellows here. And once you get away from the Whip Tongue Bulb Orb, you dismiss your Pikmin. And you leave Charlie right about here. Okay, with Elf, we gotta despawn an invisible wall, so we come right where this little rock is, and then we come back. We whistle our 10, and we get this bag down. You don't have to get the bag down here, but it lets you have a backup. And then we're gonna long whistle our Pikmin. And it's very important that you have 52 at this point. You need at least 52 to collect everything from the Mirror Slug. Okay, so if you're feeling, so what I'm about to do is like, I'm going to multitask while fighting the mirror slug. And if you do any of the multitasking too slow, then the mirror slug has a chance of eating your Pikmin. So if you don't feel comfortable with what I'm about to do, the easiest thing to do is to just focus all your attention on the mirror slug and then kill it, and then go switch to the other things. And obviously you're going to lose a lot of time, but like, this is probably like the single biggest reset point of all fruits, is like screwing up the mirror slug by doing the other things too slow. So that's my warning. Okay, so we get this phone. Your Pikmin will teleport back to you. Immediately switch to Brittany. Whistle your 13 yellows. Walk up here, switch to Charlie. You're going to have the 2 bombs now. And you're going to go here to about here where Brittany is. And switch back to Elf. See, this is, if you do that part too slow, this guy can eat your Pikmin. And you charge it and switch off, and they'll take care of that thing. Okay, we whistle Charlie. We have 41 right now. I think that's the right number. So the other thing to talk about here is the shear grubs. The swarming shear grubs. They can kind of screw you over a little bit, but like, they can't screw you over that hard. The worst thing they can do is like stop one of your fruits and distract your Pikmin. But in theory, the route is like somewhat robust to that. Okay, so now we got to do this part fast, but we just get here, throw 3 into that pit, and then some on the eggs, and then switch back. And now we whistle out of our Pikmin very quickly. For the second cycle, so for the first cycle he always goes down, the second cycle he's always going to go up. Just charge, your Pikmin will handle things. And we're going to walk up to this and dismiss. That'll flower up most of our Pikmin. Throw 5 reds on each of these guys. And I'm going to throw, let's see how many think here. I'm going to throw 3 rocks on this. And then I'm going to wait over here for my bombs to get dug up. Now we're switching back to the 3rd cycle. He can go up or down. Looks like he's going up. Okay, and we switch back here. I'm gonna, so this plum, you can either collect it right now or you don't have to. Since I didn't see the swarming shear grubs, it's perfectly safe to collect it now, so I'm just gonna let it go. So we whistle our reds back. And, okay, so there they are. That's not, so basically they're going to be distracting the reds that are getting the spicy spray, but that's not a huge deal either. Okay, so throw our 10 reds. Looks like I lost one, but that's not a big deal either. And we just come here. Okay, so now for the 4th cycle, assuming you did all the other cycles correctly, he's going to do a swirling cycle. So, whistle your Pikmin that you can find, yeah, and then he's going to go down. Once again, we just charge his lips and switch off. Okay, here, try to avoid the blowhogs. Now what you do is you just throw all the rocks that you have up here. Looks like I got an extra red, I'll throw him here too. And then throw Charlie here and then switch. Back to Elf. Okay, so for the final cycle of the mirror slug, he can go either up or down. It's a lot faster if he goes up. And it seems like he goes up more often if you move the captain behind him. So I like to try to move Elf behind wherever the mirror slug is about to go. And then whistle all your Pikmin to you. Looks like he's going to go down. That's not ideal, but it's not going to kill your run or anything. And again, Pikmin move faster if you whistle them. So I'm whistling them constantly at this point. And then charge them. This time don't switch off. I think Pikmin die if you switch here, so don't do that. Okay. So I've got 55, which means I have 3 extra Pikmin. I'm going to throw all 3 extras on the phone. And 42. So how the watermelon works is it's broken up into 6 pieces. The big one counts for 1.5 juice. The 2 8 ones count for a half a juice, and then the 2 smaller ones count for 0.2 of a juice, and the smallest one counts for 0.1. So it's a really major time loss if you let one of the small pieces finish, but you don't let the whole watermelon finish, because then your juice cycles will be screwed up and you'll like get extra juice canisters. So you lose like 2 seconds for every single fruit that you collect until you collect the rest of the watermelon. So in light of that, I like to wait. I like to make sure that these guys are the last guys in the train. So this is one of the 8 pieces. So I can get that one first. This one's 15. This is a 5 piece, but it'll be behind the 15, so it'll move pretty slow. I think this is an 8 piece. Okay, so I got all the pieces moving. So it's not a big deal if this thing gets collected, but it would be a big deal if one of these 3 smaller pieces got collected, but not all 3. So if one of them gets collected, you have to let all 3 of the small pieces get collected. So that's sort of the rule here. If you're fast, none of the watermelon pieces should get collected. If you're slow, then I guess a lot of them will. It's not really that big of a deal either way. Okay, and then we go here to this ledge next to the ship. Okay, now we switch to Brittany. Brittany is gonna run through here. Now she's got 15 yellows and 5 yellows that are carrying bombs. So you gotta be kind of careful here. Okay, so we're gonna throw 2 yellows at this mushroom, and that's gonna raise Charlie up the scale. We're gonna use one of our bombs on this orange ball board. He'll just walk into it. Okay. In my case, I've got all yellows carrying my bombs. If that wasn't the case, then one of the really bad things you can do is charge the wall. If you have a rock that's carrying a bomb and you charge this electric gate, then all your bombs are going to explode and all your Pikmin are going to die. So don't do that. Better is to just throw all your yellows on the gate. And then switch to Charlie. Don't walk off this, that would be bad. Get your Pikmin here. Another thing to check, you can see that I collected both of those fruits. It is possible that the swooping snitch bug will stop the mangosteen, and it's possible that the sheer grubs will stop the plum, but neither of that happen. It's just helpful to be aware of it. You can solve any of those problems at the end of the day. Okay, we're gonna whistle these guys. I got this extra red. I'm just gonna throw them here. So for spicy spray, it's not really that big of a deal on this day. You just need to have 1.5 by the end of the day. Okay, you can get that mushroom out of the way. You can also walk around it. Yeah, don't fall off here. That'd be really bad too. Okay, take your Pikmin in. It's really helpful to have at least 7 rocks for this, or at least 5, I guess. Then you can 2-cycle this guy with rocks. He takes 10 hits from rocks before he dies. Then we're gonna collect bombs. Throwing 2 rocks is probably the most effective way. I'm gonna hope that the raspberry gets collected. It's not a big deal if it doesn't. Okay, I got my 3 bombs. Make sure you have your bombs before exiting here. So press Z to switch the camera. I think that was my spicy spray, yeah. Okay. So now I've got 3 bombs, and ideally what you want to do is kill the blowhogs and the crab. It's not a big deal if you don't kill the blowhogs, but they can end your run on day 7 if you don't. So I'm going to kill them with this bomb. Okay. 3rd bomb goes about right here. Whistle your Pikmin back, and then dismiss. So now we're going to bait this crab into eating this bomb, and that'll kill him in 1 shot. So the way to do that is see which way he's facing. Okay, so he's facing this way. I want to be between him and the bomb. So I'm going to stand on this side of the bomb. And I also want to be slightly closer to the side that has, like, I want to be between him and the bomb by about as much as I am here. And not only that, I want him to stop a little bit earlier than normal, because the way he swipes, it's sort of like, it's very like right to left, and it's a little bit in front of him. So I'm going to be a little bit above the bomb. So basically I want to be between him and the bomb, and I want to be on the side of the bomb that's the same side that his claw is. Okay, once he stops, I move behind the bomb. He eats the bomb. It's not a big deal if you're like slow at that, I guess. Okay, we take our extras, and we go here over here. And another note, you should be hitting play for every single go here. during this day because the watermelon pieces will be carried, or the phone and the watermelon pieces will be carried back while you're doing the go here that way. And you don't lose time. Okay, so I go here. Now I switch to Brittany, who's got 4 bombs and a lot of yellows. So we're gonna fight the shaggy longlegs. First you throw a Pikmin in the middle, that'll knock him down. Throw a bomb. So yeah, again, it's important that you like wait a little bit between each bomb. And my cue is like, I wait until the cry of the Pikmin ends before I throw the next one. Like the Pikmin that are holding bomb rocks make a sound when you like press A to start holding them, and then when you release A, you throw them. So yeah, try not to miss those. And then between that, I switch to Alf. Alf's gonna whistle these rocks, and he's gonna go here in front of this gate. And then I'll switch back to Brittany. Now, if you've done everything right, he'll be at half health, and he won't have any hair. If that's not what happened and you miss one of your bombs, then you're gonna have a bad time. But what you can do is you can throw yellows at like the legs. They'll climb up the yellow. They'll climb up the legs, and they can break the joints. That's a lot slower and it's a lot riskier. So I recommend taking it really careful with those 4 bomb rock throws. Oops. Okay, to kill this guy, we just stand right under him and throw straight up. And then whenever he's about to throw, or whenever he's about to shake, we whistle our Pikmin off, and we just throw him out again. Yeah, he's pretty easy with this strat. He's a very big pain to kill if you don't have 4 bomb rocks. So. Okay, we dismiss our yellows around here. Try not to leave any behind. And this part of the route isn't fully like optimized in my opinion. And then we're gonna stop the kiwi about there. Do not let the kiwi get too far, otherwise you're gonna have a problem on the revisit. And you can just leave your yellows here. And with Brittany, we're gonna walk over here. And we're gonna whistle our friend Elf. We're gonna get onto this ledge here, and from here we can throw Elf up on that ledge. And we'll switch to Elf, and we're going to kill the cannon beetle. Cannon larva, whatever it's called. Armored cannon larva. Unless you have more than like 11 or 12, you're gonna 2-cycle him, so just throw him with rocks. I think he takes 20 hits before he dies. And charge on this low plot. Then you can switch to Charlie. And we're going to wait for the loquat to fall down this ledge. And we'll save these rocks. And then we'll switch to Brittany. And now her job is to stop the watermelon pieces. So I failed at that. Because I was too slow on this day. But it's completely no big deal if they all finish. That just means that your next day is easier. And it looks like we're good on this day. Looks like I left 1 rock Pikmin behind. I don't know how that happened. Not really a big deal. And all of these reds are gonna die. But that doesn't matter either. Because we don't really care about reds in this route. Okay. I also note that the raspberry came in. Again, the raspberry can be stopped by the grubs, so just try to be aware of that. So yeah, you can see like, for the things that give one juice. They can either fill one cup or they can fill 2 cups if the previous cup was half full. Ideally, everything that juices like a whole number of fruit, like every fruit that gives a whole number of juices, just like should go in that number of juice canisters and not one more, because every extra juice canister costs a little bit of time. And that's the reason why one of the biggest rules is you really do not want to collect a partial fruit that does not give like either a full jar or half a jar. So that means if you're going to collect grapes, you have to collect 10 or 20, but not any other number, because any other number will lose you a bunch of time when juicing. And if you're collecting the watermelon, you can't collect the small pieces. And if you're collecting like a kiwi, you have to collect the whole kiwi. Okay, everything's going smoothly so far. So the big reset points on day 5 is again bomb rock related, and then there's Louie clip. So we'll get to Louie clip when we get there. And once again, general rule of thumb with bomb rocks, like just be very aware of your Pikmin ordering. Don't throw one too many if the next thing that's coming is a bomb rock. Yeah, don't screw up your bomb rocks. Luckily in the current route, we get rid of the bomb rocks almost as soon as we get them. But there's a big problem in that in between us collecting the bomb rocks and us using them, there's a blowhog in the way. And blowhogs can kill your run. Okay, we're gonna pull 63 Pikmin. So we're gonna grow 37. We're gonna grow 37 wings. Okay. So a good rule of thumb here is don't press the Z button until you do this first trick, because the camera is lined up perfectly for you. Okay, so you're going to throw Elf and Charlie. Or sorry, you're going to throw Brittany and Charlie. You switch to Brittany, trigger that cutscene, grab Charlie. Yeah, don't hit the Z button. Now when you get here, if you don't press the Z button, there's like... So like the nunchuck has like the octagon around it, like it has an octagonal gate. And you can use that to line up these clips. Much easier than if you were using the Pro Controller, because you can just like go to one of the notches in the gate and then change your direction slightly. So I'm holding right and then slightly above, like I'm holding, like I'm going right, like right on the gate, and then I'm going slightly up from there. And I just hold that. And I press Z to let go of Charlie. I don't want to like accidentally throw him too far. Sorry, I press B to let go of Charlie. When you're holding a Pikmin in this game, if you press B, you'll drop the Pikmin. Or Captain. Okay, now with Elf. Also, I should mention, this first part there's like lily pad cycles that are kind of important. So, you want to do it quickly. If you miss a lily pad cycle, it's, yeah, not really a big deal. You'll just lose time, but won't kill you right or anything. Okay, so now I'm going to throw 6 yellows and 4 rocks across. And if you want to do this really fast so that the Pikmin don't die. If you have trouble with this, you can just do it in 2 cycles. It's not that hard. So yeah, you can whistle them, that helps a little bit. Okay, we don't really want our yellows yet. Okay, so that's another very important trick. Don't miss that spider. If you miss him, you're gonna have a bad time. It's very easy to miss him. Just like take your time, get all 3 rocks onto that spider. It takes 3 to kill him. And then you can also knock down that pellet posse if you have time and an extra rock. Okay. So we start off by plucking that first wing, whistle that rock, and then switch. Switch back to Elf. And we're going to kill these Bulborbs. It's actually better to use rocks. Okay, I missed the lily pad cycle. If you're fast, you're going to hit that. You're going to get onto that lily pad. But I was too busy talking, I guess. Okay, so the first wing, you're gonna throw it here. You wanna throw one rock here, get rid of the rest of your rocks. Have Charlie help you. Oops. You're gonna pluck these wings. Put both on the spider, you'll switch back to Elf. Looks like I missed another lily pad cycle. No big deal. Jump on the lily pad. Next one that comes by. Okay. So I'm gonna leave Charlie behind to pluck and leave the rocks behind there. And I'm gonna switch to Elf and I'm gonna throw 3 yellows on that gate. And then back to Brittany. We're gonna kill these 2 leaves. Once again, you're gonna have a really bad time if you don't kill these leaves. If you miss. So don't miss. And then you're gonna run up here. You might have an extra wing, throw it there. Charlie's got 6 for you. We're gonna get these 2 next. Fastest way to do that is throw 1 into the water and then whistle that one and throw it here and then charge that. So that's what I'm doing here. Oops. That's what I'm doing here. And then you want to go here, but press play. Back to the pink onion. Switch to Elf. And if you're really fast, you might actually not make it up this ledge yet. But looks like I was pretty slow. Okay, so now here we're at a very important part. We want to check where the blowhog is. He's right there. Okay. So that means I'm going to be able to get these bomb rocks without having to worry about him. If he's right here, he'll notice you here. What you want to do is you want to throw yellows up here to collect the bomb rocks and then run directly under him. That seems to be the best way to deal with him. It looks like he turned away, so I'm not even going to have to deal with him today, which is great. And then I'm going to run up here, and I'm going to throw 1 bomb rock right there. So make sure you throw it on the right side of that Joust Mite, because otherwise he'll survive the throw. Okay, so now we've got a bunch of Pikmin, at least 10. We're going to throw 10 on here. Switch back to Elf. Whistle that yellow we just killed back. Come over here. And we're going to throw our 3 bomb rocks. So I forget, like, I've kind of screwed up the route here, so, like, this exact ordering isn't, like, exactly the fastest way to do this. If you want to know the fastest way, just check out the world record video. Okay, we're going to switch back here. We should have a good number of Pikmin after we whistle these back. I like throwing 5 and 5. Get these back, probably pluck these. So the slowest thing that gets carried by the wings is going to be this 5 pellet here. So this gives you nectar or a spicy. The spicy is pretty rare, but it's worth like just throwing 1 of your wing Pikmin here anyway. Because if it does end up being a spicy, then you have an extra spicy and you don't have to worry about spices. And it looks like I did day 4 so slow that I have 2 spices. Normally, you'd only have 1.5. If you never screw up, you're always going to have the right number. Like, you're never going to have too few spices. Unless you, like, screw up and use an extra. Okay, so now we're going to do the bag trip. We're going to get this bag down sort of before you're supposed to. Just throw 10 Pikmin up there. They'll get it down. Okay, here I just want to make sure that my captains are plucking. And then we're going to go to the next area. I think I'm supposed to have 49 Pikmin. Maybe I was supposed to throw 1 more yellow on that electric gate, but I don't think it's going to matter because I'm going so slow. Okay, so we're going to kill this spider from behind by spamming throwing it with rocks. The first few rocks that you throw don't usually hit, so it's important to throw more. Okay. We're going to collect the spider with 3 rocks, and we're going to throw... how many rocks? All but 5 of the rest of our rocks are going to go onto this spicy. Yeah, throw 10 on that spicy. Having 4 rocks is fine for the next part. And then we charge this wall. Okay, here. Hopefully they grew... well, that guy didn't get grown. Okay, that's probably why. Okay, so we're going to collect... You're going to have... Most of the time you're going to have 37 wings here. I'm just going to leave that guy. Like, it's not even worth it. Okay, I did get an extra spicy. I'm going to have extra spices anyway because I'm going so slow, so it doesn't really help me that much. And here you just want to make sure you have at least 35 wings. I don't know exactly how many you need off the top of my head, but like you can afford to lose a couple, but ideally you don't lose any because you're going to need a very specific number of wings for day 6 and 7. Okay, and then also make sure you have the other 10 Pikmin, the 6 yellows and 4 rocks that you brought with you, because you're going to need those. So you're going to stand right here in the middle of this bridge, and you're going to throw like 20 wings up here at this sort of leaf area. It's perfectly fine to throw more than 20. Whistle them, and then immediately charge, and you need 10 of them to find that path. And here, if you want to be really fast, you can like leave Charlie behind to pluck some of the extra Pikmin. Like I could have, I'll just show off what I mean here. Like I could have left Charlie back here to pluck that guy, and then at this point I would just long whistle him, and the wings aren't going to go in the water, so it's like perfectly safe. You can check out the world record video. I think it happens in the world record video. Okay, so now we're going to use our first spicy spray. Just up on the control pad. And to kill the snagret, just throw a couple yellows at him, and then once he's about to do his downwards thing, you charge. If you charge too early, he'll just like retreat into his hole quickly. Okay, so now we're going to collect the snagret carcass because it gives 20 Pikmin, and we need wings for day 6. So how collections work, the color of it tells you which onion it's going to go to, and it will go to the majority, it'll go to whatever Pikmin color has the majority. Hold on, let me get some water. Okay. And if there's a tie, it will go to whichever Pikmin color was on it first. So for that reason, we're going to throw 4 wings, then 4 rocks, and then 2 yellows. It's important that you throw the wings first, because then this will go to the pink onion instead of the rocks. And then you're going to throw 4 yellows right here. These yellows are going to die. We're not going to come back for them. You only need 11 yellows for day 6. And then there's this data file that's kind of in the way. You can walk around it, or you can throw Charlie on it and he'll collect it. That doesn't lose you any time. And then we're going to get the persimmon. So you can actually just like throw wing Pikmin directly on it, and these guys will never kill any wing Pikmin that are coming by. So that's the easiest way to deal with it. It's like crazy, right? Okay, and we're going to whistle Elf and all these Pikmin. And we're going to throw 2 wings on these leaves. They'll take one of the better paths back to the onion. Now we need to throw 3 wings off to the side and some extra rocks. I mean, you really only need 1 rock, but you're going to lose a bunch of time if you only have 1 rock. You want to have like somewhere between 3 and 5. Because you're going to be killing a glass crystal that needs 10 hits. So if you have 5, you can 2 cycle it. If you have 4, you 3 cycle it. If you have 3, you 4 cycle it. And then we whistle these wings back. And now we're going to be doing a very important trick that actually isn't that hard. Throw 2 captains up here. Switch. Whistle the other captain. Walk up the route a little bit, and then throw them right here. Switch to that. Okay, so I forgot. With this captain, you want to whistle these 7 or 8, or however many you have. And then you need to go here to the yellow gate that you put some Pikmin on earlier. And I should mention one other thing. Earlier in the day, like after I killed this Joustmite, you'll note that I walked sort of over to this area instead of just taking a straight line to this gate. You need to walk over here so that you can use go here later on day 8. Because you're going to need to go here from this lily pad, like later on day 8. So it's important that you walk over here now on day 5. Okay, so you go here to this lily pad next to that gate. You switch to this captain. The camera will automatically recenter itself. And I hold upright on the gate, or on the nunchuck, and then I go slightly down from there, just a little bit down. And you can like keep going down until you start clipping in. Now you just hold it. And at some point you hold straight up again. and you can walk forward, and then you do basically the same angle a second time. And I think once you get to about here, you can sort of see your shadow like gets up to this root. You can just hold up. Then you hold right, and he'll fall into the right place. And now you want to turn the camera so that it's facing right. You'll switch to this captain. Okay, you probably will switch to Charlie. I did this a little slow. You just double swap. Basically, turning the camera right there sets the camera correct here. And then you can just like directly long whistle the other captain. I'm just checking. It looks like I left a red here. That's no big deal. And you can see that the two leaves that I threw, the two wings that I threw, are collecting those leaves. They'll take them back to the onion. The reason we collect the spider with the rocks earlier is to make sure that there are 100 Pikmin on the field. If there are 100 Pikmin on the field, then any new wings will just stay in the onion instead of being turned into sprouts. And we're not going to come back here and pluck them later. So it's important that they're stored in the onion instead of turned into sprouts. Okay, now we're going to do the Maestro fight. So it's very important that you have 2 captains for this fight. And you want, ideally, 20 reds. Reds are the best type to do this fight with. So for the first cycle, you have to throw like 20 reds at the bees. And if you kill enough bees, that lets you save a lot of time. If you don't kill enough bees, that's worse than if one of your Pikmin gets killed by the bees or gets swooped away by the bees. Getting swooped away loses time, but not killing enough of the bees loses even more time. So once you see them enter this phase, just like throw a bunch of reds, then get out of the way so they don't get swooped. I've never grabbed that before. Then I usually wait until about this many bees are left before charging. You can tell if a bee got swooped or not because you'll get the good music if there's no bees if there's no Pikmin that got swooped away by the bees, and you'll get like the bad music if one of the Pikmin did get captured. And so the Maestro forces you to 4-cycle him. He's got a cap at how much health he can lose in a single cycle. And you see now he's immediately attacking again, which means I've killed enough of the bees. So the reason you throw reds, if you throw wings, they're going to like continually attack and they'll get swooped away. If you throw yellows, they'll act sort of like reds, but there's a higher chance that they get swooped away because they'll kind of get stuck on the bees. If you don't have enough reds, the best thing you can do is throw your yellows first and then switch to reds for like the last 10 or so. If you charge too early, he's going to shake him off, which isn't that big of a deal, but it loses some time. So now here's why you have 2 captains. You're going to use 1 captain to lure. So once he makes that first sort of like strumming sound is when you can switch to the other captain. And the way you want to do that is because I've got Brittany and my other captain is Alf. If I press minus, I'm going to switch to Charlie. And that's going to lose time because every time you switch areas, it like has to load. And that costs like half a second to a second. So the best thing you can do is just press on Alf's icon on the gamepad, and that switches directly to him. And you can do that without pausing. Like you can do this. And now you're gonna kill a bunch of these bees. I don't know what that number is, but like try to get at least 20. Okay, so now after 3 of them have gone, after 3 rows of them have gone, you're gonna charge him. But this time we're gonna use a spicy spray. And if you charge, there's like a brief window where you can use a spicy spray and you won't get any of the like lag that you get from using a spicy spray. So that's what I'm about to do here. So we'll do that cycle very fast. Switch back to Brittany for the 4th cycle. after they've done their after he's done 2 strums, then you can switch back to Elf. Again, do it on the gamepad so you don't switch to Charlie. And then once the music changes, you can charge with your wings. And he's dead. Okay, so what we do now. At this point, you should have like 20-something wings. I forget the exact number. 28. We're going to throw 10 wings on Louie, and then the rest of the wings on the papaya. Oops. Yeah, don't do what I just did. Get closer to Louie. And then we go here to this area, because we're about to do Louie Clip. Okay. Then we'll switch to Charlie, and we're going to collect the mango steam. If you're short on spicy sprays, which there's probably... I highly doubt you're going to be short on spicy sprays. You can throw your 3 yellows here, and you can collect some more berries, but those yellows are going to die. But that's also not a big deal. So I have to 3-cycle because I don't have enough rocks. Oh, that was a little slow, but you have a little bit of time to spare because you're going to have to wait for Louie. Let me think. Yeah, what you want to do here is you want to throw... most of your Pikmin down here, and then you want to throw... Like, you want to collect the... What's it called? Persimmon. You want to collect the persimmon on this day. So you want to throw a bunch of flowers on it, and then you also want to collect Louie with flowered Pikmin. And since I did that kind of slow, I don't really like where Louie is. He's a little bit fast. Like I'm not going to be able to throw all my Pikmin down. So I'm actually just going to stop Louie here for the sake of this video. If you're having trouble, then don't throw 10 on Louie. Just throw a couple fewer. Okay, so from right here, you can throw Pikmin down. There's an invisible wall here, which is kind of a big problem. I'm going to stop this too. Okay, I'm going to switch to Brittany for this. So there's an invisible wall here, because we didn't build the bridge. And we have to get Louie through this invisible wall. And to do this, we do a trick called Louie Clip, which is one of the most annoying and random tricks in the game, it feels like. There's ways to improve your odds that you get it, though. So sort of the first thing you can do is you can push Louie really far left, and you can like increase his momentum downwards. So you have a better chance of getting him through on the first cycle because he has downwards momentum. And after that, really all you can do is push him to the left and hope. And then since this is all fruits, we actually also have to collect the papaya, so we're going to have to clip the papaya through too. I think the papaya is a little bit easier to get though. And you can also use the papaya to help clip Louie through. But I honestly prefer not doing that. I think it's a little easier without the papaya. Oops. So I'm going to switch to Elf. So this is what this would look like. If you're doing Louie Clip, try to get the camera behind you. The Pikmin will get here. They'll move a bit to the left, wait for that. And then as he's falling, you can push him to the left. So how this works is every time the wing Pikmin drop something, you can push it for a brief window. So basically, we're going to use that. They'll pick him up. He's not clipping, so I let them go and I push him further to the left. And then I dismiss again. And that time he clipped. Oh, but it was a fake clip. Push him further to the left again. Yep, that time it was a real clip. And now these reds will take care of him. And then we'll do the papaya. Okay, I think I was supposed to throw one of my captains down here. Yeah. Actually, I don't think that matters. Okay, so for this one, they're kind of going to go high up. Just let it drop, and then dismiss. And this one, I don't really have as much of a strategy for this one. It's kind of more just like dismiss and then let them get it again. Sort of eventually it'll just fall through. And now you have to save all these wings. You're going to need them. So they'll, if you continuously whistle them, they'll come over this way. And also you can get through this invisible wall through a brief moment here. If you just like hug the right wall, you'll get through. Okay, for the next trick you need 2 captains. Actually, I might have to stop this papaya. It's gonna get in the way. Okay, you can leave the papaya about right there. You're gonna collect it on the next day anyway, or on the revisit. Okay, so I should mention the reason why we can't do any of the areas in one day is because we need blue Pikmin to collect certain fruits, and because of that, it's faster to like leave some fruits for the revisit. Okay, so we get our captain. I have a lot of Pikmin. I'm gonna throw some up here. You need about 10 for that. Normally I wouldn't do this, but I'm just gonna leave them here so I can show you this trick. Okay, so we want to stand on this root, and there's like a little sort of black patch, I think right here, that you can make this throw. So you do that. Okay, I'm gonna stop these guys. And then the last thing you have to do in this day is you have to move the pear. So the pear is behind a gate that takes 3 bombs. But if you have 2 days, you can actually clip it through. So how you do that is you throw at least 10 wings here, lock onto the pear, and then charge. And then once it hits the gate, you whistle off. And now I believe Louie's probably already finished coming back. So I'll just save all these Pikmin. It's very important that you save all your wing Pikmin. You can let some yellows die, that's not a big deal. So like these 4 yellows are gonna die. Not a big deal. So all the Pikmin that are close to the onion will be saved. So these guys will be fine. These guys will be fine. And these guys are with Charlie, so they'll be fine as well. Or no, they collected the mangosteen. Yeah, so I think 2 fruits is... Oh no, I forgot a fruit. Ooh. I forgot this plum. You're actually supposed to collect that when you're next to it. Yeah, so don't do what I just did. Don't forget this plum that's under this weed right here. I'll try to remember to collect that on day 8. So you should end this day with 3 fruits. You'll just have 3 fewer wings for the Maestro fight, which is not a big deal at all. You'll just put 3 fewer on the papaya, and it'll be carried a little bit slower than what I had. Alright, looks like we're a little over an hour in. Or maybe an hour 20 in right now. That's fine. Looks like this is going to end up being about 2.5 hours long. Okay, day 6 is coming up. Oh, and I should mention, I think if you're like trying to do this speedrun, I think day 5 is probably the highest probability day where you won't finish it in one day. If there's any day that you don't finish in one day, like or one of the in-game days, it's like not that big of a deal. You can just like revisit and collect what you miss. But of course, you do need like Louie, and you do need a certain number of Pikmin in order to move on to the next day. And for the upcoming day, you're going to need 59 wings. And you should have 63. On day 7, I think you need 70 wings. So just be aware of how those numbers work out. You also need 11 yellows for this day. So once again, I'll mention that like I'm basically in between days I'm spamming plus on the gamepad and tapping the gamepad, and the gamepad is in stylus mode, which lets me skip the text a little bit faster. Okay, so you on this day, unlike any other days, you start off with Brittany. So first thing you do is you throw the other 2 captains here, go to the onion. And we're going to pull 11 yellows and 10 reds. And we're going to go here to this area that we walked through on day 2. Right next to this data file. Try not to walk into the data file. Like, try not to go here into the data file, if you can. Okay. Then we're going to pull 15... Is 15 the right number? Yeah, 15 rocks and 59 wings. And you need to have only 95 on the field because you're going to fill those spots up with blues. So I like to throw elf here. You can avoid a little pop-up if you like stop right here. It doesn't matter if you hit the pop-up. Throw 4 wings on there. Charge this wall and grab elf, and then you grab elf there so you don't switch to him. And then you throw 8 reds onto that spicy. Some of these reds are going to die throughout the day, so try not to get too spooked if you see a death. If you see like one isolated death, it's probably one of these reds got killed by these frogs, which is not a big deal. Also note that I don't throw rocks here because the rocks can fall into the water and drown. It's like, it seems about equally likely that the reds and the rocks die. Okay, so we go here to the end of this bridge. Try not to get too close to the bulborbs. And we switch back, and we'll immediately get this blue onion cutscene. So we're going to throw elf in here to pluck one of the one blue Pikmin. Whistle him back, throw our one blue Pikmin at this pellet. Throw the 4 wings here. And now we're going to do another clip with Charlie. Another note about captains is like Charlie has the longest arms. So we do these clips with Charlie. Like the route is made so that Charlie is the one who's holding the other captain when we do these clips. Okay, for this clip, you stand right here in this corner, and you point your thing right about where the strawberry is. Press B, dismiss, and you should get the clip. And then you're going to go here, pressing play, to the blue onion with Charlie. Elf's going to fall here, you get up, and you're going to switch to Brittany. Brittany is going to kill the bulborbs that are in the way. Do not wake up this guy, or you're going to have a really bad time. It's also not really that big of a deal if you kill these right now or not, because they're not really going to disrupt anything until later in the day. And you're going to revisit this area, so you're going to have a second chance to kill them. If they're not like, if they're too close to this guy, you can just leave them. Throw 3 yellows on that gate, and you're going to go here to these like bricks. Switch back to Charlie. You're going to pluck some of these blues. And then just throw 2 here and 1 here. You'll collect that. Okay, so here we're gonna kill this bulborb. When you kill him with 1 rock, he'll end up on this bridge, so you don't have to like worry. Okay, we're gonna throw 10 of the rocks right here, and we're gonna use a spicy spray. Right as we fall off there, it saves some of the lag. And we're gonna run up here. We're gonna throw 6 wings off to the side, and then we're gonna dismiss in front of the crab. And they'll take care of him. And we're gonna go here, whistle that. We'll switch to Alf, and while this fight is happening, we're gonna walk. So you can hear the music that says that the fight succeeded. And now we do this section. So this section is another big reset point, or like it can lead to a reset point. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that this blowhog can end your run by killing the yellows that you put on this gate. And there's 2 ways you can avoid this. You can lure him closer down, and that way he won't ever turn around and see the yellows. Or you can throw the yellows over the gate and whistle them back, and they'll break the gate from the other side. But I should note, if you do that, this guy can still find them and kill them if you're unlucky. So, looks like he's far enough down, and then I throw a red on each of them. That red will keep him busy. He won't see it. And then I'm going to throw these yellows on this gate as far away from possible as him, so that means this corner for this particular setup. And that guy will keep him busy until he's dead. And then we're going to go here to this area that we unlocked on day 2 next to this electric gate. I should have 5 yellows at that point. And now with Charlie, we're going to come back here, whistle all these wings that didn't end up collecting these parts. or these fruits. And we're gonna whistle back all these fruits. Yeah, so do that part fast. Make sure you have all 59. And we're gonna stand right here on this pot. So we're gonna do a long whistle trick, which is probably something that needs to be practiced. Although I think this is one of the easier ones. So we're gonna whistle those 10 rocks, and they're gonna run up into this lip of the gate, and we're gonna switch to Alf, and the camera will hopefully be pointed at Charlie. And hopefully he'll be on screen, so we can just point the cursor at him, and we'll press B. And then we'll have to hold B probably, because if we hold B, then like the column will be extended all the way up and down. And that'll give us the best chance of long whistling him. So switch to Alf. Yep, hold in that direction. And we go. Oh, I forgot to get the... Okay, this could be a problem. I forgot to get the rocks. Okay, well, that would have worked anyway. Okay, I'll do it again with the rocks this time. Okay, yeah. Make sure you have 69. All 59 wings and 10 rocks at this point.
Did you get about Connie?
So this guy, this thing takes, I think 16 before it's broken. And then we're going to throw our rocks off to the side. And Charlie. Once that hits down, we're going to whistle. Once the third leg, or once the back leg hits the ground, we're going to whistle off and then charge again. And that should be enough. Get our 10 rocks. So this is another very important part. You kind of want to do this without all of your wings getting eaten, so you kind of got to do it quickly. But you're just going to throw 10 on it. Whistle them all back. So the second one I did a little faster because I know that it only takes 24 hits to break it. Okay, for the second one we're gonna use a spicy and charge his leg. So remember, you lock on, charge, and then use the spicy immediately after. Also note that I had the whistle Pikmin there, and we switch off. 5 on that gate. Go here again to the blue onion. Now we've got Charlie. We're gonna throw 6 rocks here. We want them to die. We're mean like that. Because we need to free up space to have blue Pikmin on the field. So this is a really easy one cycle. I don't know, I guess this is technically the second cycle, but you wait until the tongue is about halfway to 2/3 around, and then you just charge. And then he's gonna hiccup. So we're gonna whistle off, wait for him to hiccup, and then charge again. We see that I think all 6 of those guys died. So that's fine. That's what we want. And now we've got this fruit and Louie. We're gonna throw 20 on the cantaloupe, 5 on Louie. And we need wings because we didn't build any bridges. Okay, next we're gonna run up and we're gonna kill this guy. Use another spicy. So the way to do it is like stand parallel to him, so he's gonna move forward. And then once he's about to swipe at you, you move your captain out of the way, because if your captain gets hit, you're not gonna be able to charge him. And basically, after he swipes, he's going to grab 3 Pikmin, and then hopefully you kill him before the Pikmin die. Or he kills rocks, that's also fine. So he's going to walk forward, I'm going to move slightly out of the way, my captain, then charge. So I killed him before my Pikmin died, which is great. But if your Pikmin die, you can handle 3-wing Pikmin death and be fine. Okay. So we got that. So I think what we do next is, oh yeah, we just walk off this ledge right here, and then go here to about here. We'll switch to Brittany. I think I screwed up this road. I think before you fight the crab, you switch to Brittany and you collect that 5 pellet. You can consult. Actually, no, the world record video uses a different strat. Basically, once Brittany gets to the blue onion, you'll see like her pop up that says, "Hey, I'm here. Come deal with me." And then once you see that, you switch to Brittany and you throw those 5 over there. Okay, so we killed those 4 rocks in the water to free up more space for the blue Pikmin. And now we're gonna collect the 2 extra fruits that are here. Here, hold on. I gotta take a short break. Okay, we're back. Yeah, I kind of screwed up the rush here, but ideally you should have already plucked these or something. I don't know. I think I should have plucked these a little earlier, basically. But okay, whatever. So we're gonna come over here. We're gonna grab our captains. We're gonna throw 6 blues at this. Nope, I was only supposed to throw 5. I gotta go get one of those. As you can see, I have sort of forgotten the route. If one of your blues dies, that's not a big deal. Only 3 need to survive, and I don't think I've ever seen 3 of them die. Yeah, so throw 5 blues here at that strawberry. And you're gonna come over here. You're gonna throw one of your captains across. I want to throw Charlie across, because he's the following captain. Throw 5 blues. Let me count in my head. 18 wings and 5 rocks over. And grab the other captain, and you're going to go here back to the ship. And then with Charlie. So now here's another really important part. You can't let the orange that's over here get too far. So if the orange gets too far, then your blues are going to get eaten by these guys, and that's really bad. So don't let that happen. So I found the fastest way to do this is to not kill this guy, but to just distract him. But for the sake of, consistency, I'm just going to kill him actually, so I don't fail this. So you can see he dies pretty easily. Let's get rid of the blues. Charge that guy. Then it's a little bit faster than if you throw your 5 blues over here first. Then you finish breaking this. Okay, we're gonna open up more space for Pikmin by killing rocks. And yeah, whistle the blues off of this orange. Throw your blues off to the side. And then we're gonna go over here, and we're going to open up this clipboard. I had an extra Pikmin there. You only need 17 wings on second thought. Okay, so throw the other captain off to the side, and you need 10 wings. Oops. And then you're gonna go here next to the lime. And then at this point, hopefully all of the fruits that you've gotten earlier have made it all the way. And what you're going to do is you're going to withdraw 10 reds. 11 is fine. Just needs to be at least 10. you're gonna run over here. This gate should be done. If you're really fast, you might be able to beat it. I don't know. So you want to throw 10 at this decopon. Make sure that you throw them at the decopon and that none of them start attacking the blowhog. It is possible that even if you do this correctly, that after the fruit like pops up out of the ground, that the reds will start attacking the blowhog. And in that case, you're going to have to come back here at the end of the day, or you're going to have to realize that that has happened, and then you're going to have to come back here, and you're going to have to get this decopon. So that's just a time loss. So after you do that, you go here to where the blowhogs are that you killed. And I guess we're going to do this part. So try to throw half and half of the wings that you have on each of these 2 fruits. And then, okay, yeah, so I screwed up my captain ordering, I think. I was supposed to throw Alf over, but whatever. I'm just going to do a double switch every time. So charge your wings at the line. Consult the world record video for the correct route. Whistle your 10 wings up. Make sure that the yellows latch onto the line. And then you're going to come get the grapefruit. So you just lock on and charge. You have to shake like 3 or 4 times here because there's a small chance that one of the wings stays in your party. And if that happens, then they won't collect the grapefruit. And that would be really bad. And once again, make sure you hit play during all your go heres on this day because things are getting carried like while you're doing stuff. Sorry. After you kill the Myroclops, after that, every single go here after that, you need to hit play. The other ones, it doesn't matter if you hit play or not. Okay, so after I do that, I'm going to go here, back to the ship, and I'm going to switch to Alf. So we need 16 blues for day 7 and day 8. So I'm going to throw all the blues that I have onto this blowhog. And now it's very important that if you don't have 5 blues, that the extra ones you throw on here are all wings. Because if they're not wings, then these guys won't go to the blue onion. Because if like a red Pikmin was latched on here, it would get killed on the way to the blue onion. And the game knows that, so it will actually take it to the red onion. And these guys grow 8 seeds, so it's really important that you get the correct ones on here. So yeah, blues first, then wings. I'm also going to collect this blowhog with wings. 8 seeds is a lot. And we need 70 for day... Yeah, we need 70 for day 7. And we have 63. And since I didn't have any deaths for wings. If you do have deaths, I'll show you where you can grab like a couple extra. Okay, so we're going to come in here. We're going to get this egg down. We're going to use a spicy as we fall down the bag. We just chuck Pikmin at the eyes. You can also just dismiss, I think. I don't know. If you're here, you should easily one-cycle it. Okay, so now we're going to need 20 wings to collect the grapes. So the best thing you can do is, like, take the other wings that you have and throw half of the extras on each of the star fruits. And then throw the remaining reds and yellows that you have half and half on the 2 star fruits. There's some like intricacies of carrying that I kind of gloss over here, but like basically if the wings are carrying them, it's slower than if the grounded Pikmin carry them. Wings are just slower. But if there aren't enough wings to carry it on their own, so if there are fewer than 5 wings on the starfruit, then it will get carried by the grounded Pikmin. And it's actually faster to throw 4 grounded Pikmin and 3 wings than 5 grounded Pikmin and 3 wings. Because if there are enough grounded Pikmin to carry it on their own, then the wings won't add to the speed. But if there aren't, then all of the wings will add to the speed. I don't know, see the Discord. Oops, I accidentally fell down here. That's not a big deal. If you don't do what I just did, you can actually just throw from the edge directly onto the grapes. But otherwise, I'm just going to charge the 20 wings onto the grapes. Okay, now we got to clean up the rest of the day. Here's where you can grow some extra wings. That's pretty easy. Doesn't really lose any time. And I'm going to do the same trick again. So I threw 14 wings because this thing takes 15 to carry, and then some grounded Pikmin. And that's faster than carrying it with wings only, and it's faster than carrying it with grounded Pikmin. I didn't even have any grounded Pikmin. Okay, also here, the fruit are in rows of 7. So you can use that to make sure that you're collecting all the fruits that you're supposed to. I collected 3 fruits, and there are 17 fruits in Garden of Hope, so I need to fill up the 2 rows completely. Okay, and what I was doing there is I'm just sort of waiting here for all of the... I'm just waiting here for all of the wings to come back from carrying the grapes. I need to save all my wings. It's okay if these reds die. Other places where you can grow extra... you can also grow extra wings from this pellet here. And that pellet there. You know, I've never actually seen this. It looks like that red single-handedly killed that frog. Very interesting. Okay, so now we can end the day. Another thing to make sure is that those 5 blues over here are in the party of the captain. And they're not just sitting here, because otherwise they'll die. And once again, you need 16 blues. Alright, I have all 14 fruits. I can end the day. Okay, day 7 used to be hard, but after the reroute for Tropical Wild, it's pretty easy. I think days 7, 8, and 9 are all pretty easy, although they all have like one sort of major reset point that can cause problems, and they're all sort of bomb related. On days 6, 7, 8, 9, the juice cutscenes are really long. They're like 2 minutes each. Make sure you hit plus to get the faster versions. But I don't know. It's kind of nice to have a break, but I do think that these cutscenes are a bit long, unfortunately. And you can't even just like walk away either, because those pop-ups happen when you collect a certain number of unique fruits. Alright, here once again you can check your Pikmin counts. The numbers I'm looking at here is 70 wings, 16 blues. So looks like we're good. Killed a lot of reds at this point, but that doesn't really matter. This is one of those cutscenes where you have to skip it by pressing plus. There are a couple of them. Just be aware that like some of the cutscenes are skipped by pressing plus on the gamepad, and some are skipped by tapping, or like move through as fast as possible by tapping. So it can be helpful to just like tap and press plus throughout the end of the day cutscenes. Oh, I accidentally entered the wrong area. I wasn't paying attention. Oh yeah, so on days 7 through 9, it's helpful to switch to the Wii Remote to avoid doing what I just did. think this loses like a minute or something. I actually haven't done this in a run, but I've seen Ghostly do it, so don't do it. I've done it in my Pikmin run, so it's not a Pikmin 3 all fruits run. Okay, so day 7. We're going to enter Tropical Wilds. And the reason we enter Tropical Wilds on day 7 is because enemies respawn after 4 days, and we visited Tropical Wilds on day 3. Sorry, on day 4. So, if we do it on day if we do Tropical Wilds, we visit on day 7, we won't have to deal with the Whip-Tongue Bulborb that we killed, and we won't have to deal with the Blowhogs that we already killed. Those are really the only 2 enemies that respawn that we have any deal with. Or that we need to deal with. And before you hit land, it's helpful to note exactly how many fruits you already have. I need 14 to complete this area. So that's just another sanity check to make sure that you collect all the fruits. You see the number that you're going to need on this day. And it's especially important on this day because the sheer grubs can stop fruits that you already collect. Okay, so for this, I'm going to throw the captains off to the side and collect Brittany again. And I'm going to pull 16 blues, and I'm going to pull all of my wings that I have until I get to 88 on the field. If you don't have 70 wings, you can get extra blues, and the blues can replace some of the wings. But like if you I wouldn't recommend doing that. I would just like make sure that you have the right number of wings. Okay. So here I'm going to throw 3 blues, Brittany, and 20 wings. And I lost count already, so try not to do that. I think that's the right number. I'm going to walk down this ledge so that he takes a better path. And go here next to this peach. Switch to Brittany. Got 20 wings. 2 blues in there. Pick up your 3rd blue. Get the cherry. Gonna walk over here and I'm gonna throw 5. 5 here. So here's why you don't want to let the kiwi get too far on day 4 because then you'll have to deal with these guys and these guys can kill your wings. Okay, once you do that, optionally you can just go here. I'm just gonna leave my captain right there. Switch to Charlie. The Charlie. Grab 12 reds. And walk into this cave. You gotta kill this guy. I don't think I've actually tested if you need to kill him or not, but he can kill your Pikmin, that's for sure. Then go here, make sure you hit play to that bridge. And with Alf, you're gonna throw 13 blues onto this stick. You need 13 because there's 3 things down here, and it is possible that all 3 kill 1 Pikmin each. And if they got stuck, then all your blues would probably die. Alright, one other thing to note. If you leave the plum on day... If you left the plum on day 4, you'll need to only throw 12 blues here, and then you'll come over here and you'll throw 1 of your blues and 2 of your wings. And in that case, you're going to have needed 72 wings instead of 70. Okay, so you throw your 2 wings here into this area, or into this thing. They'll dig up the 2 bomb rocks, and you wait over here. With Brittany now, we're going to go collect the loquat. So I'm going to throw my Pikmin ahead of me to spawn these guys. That way they'll despawn in time. First I throw 2 over there. And this almost always has a spicy spray. Before I get it, I'll make sure that there's 5 on there. These 5 will always survive past the Just Mites. And then with Brittany... Sorry, I don't know. When I said despawn, I meant they'll go back in their hole and they won't get in the way of Brittany. Which can be a problem. Then we take Brittany and we're going to go here to about here, next to this ship, but under the ledge. And using the go here like that cancels the lag you would normally get from sucking up a spicy spray. So we throw 8. Whistle them before they hit the ground. That's important, otherwise they like fly off. And then charge. And make sure make sure you do that right, because if you get fewer than 12 on there, then some Pikmin are probably going to die, because they're not going to be fast enough to outrun this Bulborb. Because the path that they take runs into the Bulborb first. Because, you know, Pikmin don't really understand, you know, just like go around. And then there's 4 mites here, or male shear grubs, and they can each kill 1 Pikmin. So that would bring you down to 8. So for that reason we bring 12. And right now where we're losing Pikmin is because some blues just got killed by these guys. And the peach has fewer carriers now. Here, I'll show you. It has 11, so that means 2 of my blues died. And what happened there? Yeah, I've never seen that happen before, actually. But since I noticed it, I'm gonna kill these guys, actually. I've never actually had any of those guys get eaten with 12 before. I wonder if it was because one of the extra Bulborbs was there, or maybe I had them loaded too long. I don't know. It might be better. It might be a little safer if you bring 15 or 14 reds instead of 14 reds here instead of 12. And just like you don't need 2 of the wings, you only need 70. I brought 72 to the other area. Okay. So we're gonna go here back to Charlie. Okay, so now we got 2 bombs. Actually, I've got an extra spicy, so I'm just going to use it here with flower. So when you use a spicy, it flowers all your flower Pikmin are faster. Do a 7 on there. 8 onto the avocado. 5 on the lime. So the bombs dig stuff up instantly. So we kind of need that here for this banana. And then bomb on the lemon. So the easiest setup for this is you lock onto this gate and then walk onto the starfruit and then charge it. Try to whistle them before they fall off. You see I have 2 extra here. So like I said earlier, there's a lot of things that you might need an extra wing here for. If you left the raspberry, you would need 1 wing for the raspberry. If you left the plum, you would need 2 wings for the plum, and then 1 more. You need to take one of the blues off of that and put it on the plum. So for that reason, it's really helpful if you get the raspberry and the plum on day 4. But if you did get the raspberry and the plum, then you can just take 70 wings to this area. And instead you can take 14 reds to the fig. A little bit safer. And you know, since we didn't break the walls, they're going to take the longer path, but they won't go in the way of any enemies. So the only bad thing that can happen now is like one of the shear grubs, or if the swarming shear grubs end up like jumping on your fruits as they're carrying back. And it's really rare, but it can happen that they jump on the fruits that are getting carried back by winged Pikmin. So for that reason, it's a little safer if you go here to about here, just to make sure. Okay, now we got Brittany. We're gonna whistle these guys. We're gonna whistle our 2 bombs. And I'm gonna throw 10 onto that. They're gonna dig it up. I don't think it really matters precisely what composition you throw there. Okay, here is sort of the major reset point on day 7. It's these 2 bombs. First one has to go here. And use a spicy spray. Second one, you want to hold it for this part. Don't release A, because that would throw it. You don't want it to get eaten by these guys. And then after you get up the ledge, if you throw while you're on this ledge, you can just throw it directly onto the ledge and you miss. You want to get up the ledge, and then you throw it right here. After this guy takes 2 steps, you charge. You can throw your blues. And before he does his animation, I just charge, or I whistle off. Okay, and now we're going to collect this with 6 blues. Looks like I'm going to lose some blues here. A lot of blues, okay. Well, that's going to be really slow now, but might still be faster than wings, I don't know. At this point, you would use all these extra Pikmin and go collect all the watermelon pieces, but I collected it on day 4, so I don't have to. So I'm going to take this time to grow some extra blues because I need 15... Oops. I need 15 blues for day... yeah, for day 8 I need 15 blues, and I just let a bunch die. Pretty straightforward, you just like grow them with these pellets here. So there's another place where you can lose blues, and that's from the Hermit Crawmed, that's right there. I didn't lose any, so that's fine. Normally... So I guess sort of what happened there was like, I lost a bunch of... Or like, the fruit like spawned in the water, so I wasn't able to get 6 blues on it immediately, and that made them slower. And because they were slower, they were more likely to get eaten by the fish. It's just a recipe for disaster. I'm gonna grow a couple more blues. I didn't see how many I had, but just to be safe. Okay, and then if you're really fast, like the grapes will be making their last cycle right before the day ends. You can just whistle them there, but I left a captain here so I can whistle them now. And I got 14 fruits, and see, I'll save those 2 blues by switching to Brittany too. Then you end the day. Okay, for day 8, there's not really a like the amount of wings you need is much less than the amount of wings you need on day 9. You need 75 wings for day 9, so you can grow some on day 8. And it helps to have extras on day 8, but you don't actually need that many wings on day 8. And another reminder on days 7 through 10, you should switch to the Wii remote. You should switch to the Wii remote before selecting the area, because the game doesn't necessarily give you the area that you want immediately. In any percent, you just like mindlessly spam the gamepad, and it takes you to the right area on all the days. But that's not the case in all fruits, because it's gonna, like, if you just spam the gamepad, it's gonna take you to Formidable Oak. Okay, yeah, I grew way more blues than I needed. I'll do the next day with 15 just to show how you can do it with only 15. The other counts all look good. So I should mention that day 7 is like the tightest route in terms of Pikmin counts. If you don't have enough Pikmin, maybe... Wow, I did the exact same thing. Okay, learn from my mistakes, anyone who's speedrunning this game. switch to the Wii remote. Okay, and if you're paranoid, you can make sure that you got all the fruits by looking at the areas that you just visited. Okay, so day 8 is Twilight River. I need 13 fruits to finish this area. Normally, I would have 3 fruits already, but I forgot the plum, so I'll get that at the end of the day. It really won't lose much time. Okay, so the first thing is Alf, throw the other 2 capsules to the side, and you're going to pull out 10 wings. And then you're going to go here to where the bombs are. And this is the reason why you walked over here. Otherwise, you couldn't go here to this area, and you would have to make a walk over to that lily pad, which is like not that slow, but it's a little bit slower. Okay, we want 10 rocks, 15 blues. You can afford, I think, 8 reds for spicy, and then just the rest are all wings. But you have way more wings than you need. And then we're gonna walk. Walking with your attention is a little bit faster than using go here. Okay, switch to the rocks. We gotta kill the spider again. For some reason he responds. Throw your reds on the spicy. Through 8, right? Okay. 10 wings on the pear. And 5 and 5 on the papaya. I got 10 right. Did I only get 9? My counting's bad, I guess. At this point, you only need 20 wings. So I have way more wings than I need. So I'm going to just throw some extra on this. Yeah. It's actually helpful if you don't take too many wings. Because the wings are more... Oh, no, sorry. You need 30 wings, not 20. But it's better to have the wings in the other area than this area, because you're going to use them later to collect the grapes. Okay, so after you do that, you're going to go here to the apple. Okay, so here we've got a blowhog that could be problematic. The easiest way to deal with that sort of blowhog... Okay, he turned away, but if he was a problem, you could just like stay over here, try to be out of his sight. And then you can come under him and throw a bomb. Throw 3 wings there, they'll deal with that. And then make sure you have 2 bombs for this next part. If you're really low on wings, you can collect that blowhog carcass. That gives 8 seeds. And I'm doing this really slow. If you do this fast enough, I'm pretty sure you can beat the other captain to the location. Okay, so here you want to throw 2 bombs in his shadow. Then 1 wing on each raspberry. Make sure he dies before you leave. That would be bad if he didn't die. And then you want to go here back to the ship. Okay, so now you're going to throw... I'm going to throw 12, but normally you throw 10 on this apple. You're going to run over here. Use a spicy. Jump on the lily pad. Throw everything but your blues onto this. So this is a really big reset point. If the Toady Bloister is facing the grapefruit, then the best thing to do is just wait. Wait for him to get out of the way. He can eat like 6 Pikmin in 1 bite or something. But if he's facing away, then he'll be too slow. The Pikmin will run past him. So I'll make sure that they're okay. Yeah, see, they're like just fast enough. Okay, switch to Charlie. 10 to break that, dismiss. And then we need to go speed up the grapefruit because it's going to be the slowest thing. Sorry, it's not a grapefruit, it's an Asian pear. My bad. Am I too slow? If you're a little faster than me, it wouldn't be as far. Okay, so now you're going to be here. I guess all the Pikmin came back because I was slow. At this point, you want to kill these 2 bulb orbs. I should mention one more thing. It probably would have been better for me to use the spicy spray before I killed the spider, and that way these 5 blues would also be flowers. Because I'm not actually... Like, the reason I use the spicy there is to flower the Pikmin. I don't use the spicy to, like, attack something. I just need the Pikmin flowered, and spicy is the fastest way to do that. Oops, I was too close to the wall. You have to kill those bulb orbs, otherwise they'll kill those blue Pikmin. Okay, so normally you would just go straight here to the grapes, but I made a mistake. I forgot to get the pear, or I forgot to get the plum, which takes 3 wings on this. Okay, so this should be fine. So you're gonna throw 20 wings on these grapes. See, I said before you need 75 wings. So I'm gonna grow some wings, I guess. So I did this day pretty slow. If you do it fast enough, you should end up waiting for the other stuff to make it to the end. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong way to do that. You can just come down here. If you have 8 wings, you just charge it. Yeah, so normally this wouldn't be the last thing that comes in, but I was a bit slow, like I said before. And then it's okay if the reds die, you don't need reds. You want to save your 20 that you just put on the grapes. If you were fast enough, you can save the grapes, or you can save the wings that were carrying the grapes by whistling them as they make their way back through here. And as long as they were all wings, or as long as they were all flowers, the last grape should cross over this area before the first one starts making its way back. So it's safe to whistle. You don't want to whistle one of the grape carriers. Okay, I have 13 fruits. I can end the day. Yeah, so day it's pretty easy. The 2 concerns are the bombs near the blowhog. You don't want the blowhog to blow up the bombs. And then the other concern is the toady boister. You don't want that thing to eat all your blue Pikmin. If that happens, you'd have to go back to the base, and you'd have to grow more blue Pikmin, and then you'd have to make your way back, and then you'd have to get it, and you'd lose so much time. And day 9 is Distant Tundra Revisit. On day 9, all of the enemies have respawned since we visited Distant Tundra on day 3. So there's going to be a bunch of enemies in the way. So just be aware of that. Oh, I should mention one other thing, and this is relevant on day 7 as well. Like, on day 7, when we collect the fig, you'll notice that I use reds, and you might think, why not just use wings? Because the wings will be safe from the bulb orb, and they'll be safe from the mites. The problem is that whoever programmed this game made a slight mistake in that it's possible for wing Pikmin carrying certain fruits to get stuck in certain loading zones. And if that happens, you have to just reset. Like, reset the day. Because it's impossible to get the Pikmin unstuck. And for that reason, we have to use grounded carriers for certain things. So this time, I'll switch to the Wii Remote. And we'll select this Tundra and Lambo. Okay. Yeah, these 6 are fine, I think. Okay, so Alf should throw the other 2 captains, they'll pluck those. He's gonna take Yeah, this is fine. I'm just thinking a bit here. Yeah, 7 reds, 25 wings is fine. And then he's gonna... You have to run under this thing and whistle your wings, because wings can get stuck when going through this tunnel, and they can also get stuck when going through that tunnel. So you have to whistle them to make sure they get through. And then you go here, next to the grapes. Okay, now with Charlie and Brittany, you're gonna have 4 rocks. I think... Just trying to think about how many blues. I think 8 is technically all you need. I'll grab 10 just to be safe. Then everything else is wings. Okay, I'll just grab more blues because I have enough space. Throw your rocks there. I have mostly wings, which is nice. Okay, so we're going to throw 5 wings right here. Throw Charlie across and dismiss. Grab the blues and the 5 wings that you threw off to the side. And then you're going to grab the persimmon with all your blues. And then you're going to grab the lime with the wings. Then you're going to go here, hit play. Make sure that the persimmon starts moving, because there's a chance that it doesn't. And then you're going to go here back to the ship. With Charlie, you're going to whistle all these. Whistle all these guys. Come through here. Yeah, that snitch bug is kind of a problem. So here, you're going to make sure that the cherry is... You're going to make sure you figure out where the cherry is. It can either be at the bridge over here, which is ideal, or it can be stuck up here. If it's stuck up here, you have to get it right now. You just like go up the geysers and throw 2 wings at it, but it's not, so we don't have to do that. So I want to throw 7 wings at this. The reason why you throw more than you need is because of the snitch bug. Or 3. It doesn't matter that much. We're going to recollect all the wings anyway. This one, I threw... You can throw 10 at this one. It doesn't really matter again. It's helpful to get rid of your leaves onto that orange if you can. I didn't do that. Okay, let me do that again. So the best way to get this gate is like throw 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay. So now here's the reset point on this day, the first one. And that's the spotty ball bear. Looks like he's in a good position because he's not seeing me. So I'm gonna go get him to show you how you can deal with him if he is in the way. Okay, yeah, so sort of a bad thing that can happen is he can come over here, and he's like right there. I don't think he ends up coming all the way, but okay, so you're gonna get all the bombs if the ball bear is in the way. Okay, looks like he... Well, I guess I can't really show you how to deal with him now. But what I was gonna say was, if he's over there, what you can do is you can break this. It takes 2 bombs to break that, and you can go out the back way. Okay, so I guess we don't have to do that now. Okay. Throw 11 wings at the grapefruit. You're going to use this geyser. You're going to need at least 5 bombs for the next part. 8 is a lot, but doesn't matter if you have extras. And then you're going to go here next to the cherry. Okay, now we have Brittany. Actually, okay, so the faster way to do this, and then charge the 20 onto that, and they're going to collect the grapes, and they're all going to die, but that doesn't matter because this is like the last day, we don't need wings anymore. It's important to use wings. I think the grounded carriers can get killed by the Joustmite. There's a Joustmite right here. He can spoil your grapes, and there's not enough time to make 2 cycles if you're fast enough. And just charge the mango. So one of the problems with the mango is that the mango is going to take this path and you can lose some grounded carriers. That's why there's a couple extra. And once again, it has to be grounded carriers because if you have all wings on the mango, they can get stuck right here. And that would make your run, you'd be forced to reset because the part gets stuck in the loading zone in such a way that you can't call Pikmin off it or on it. Okay. So after you do that part, you're going to go here back to the ship. Switch to Brittany. Brittany's going to whistle all these Pikmin. Let's see. All my fruits made it through, I think. Yeah. So except for the Asian pear, or except for the grapefruit, the loquat and the orange should have come back already. And then you're going to do another long whistle trick. You stand about here. You're going to collect the cherry. Now with Charlie, you just kind of you can walk up here to adjust the camera. That's not necessary. And you just grab Brittany. And they'll get stuck at the edge of the bridge, so they won't like fall off the bridge if you're too slow. Okay, so here again we're gonna have to use grounded carriers, so we throw 4 rocks up, throw Brittany up, and then you can either press minus, you might switch to Elf. If Elf is in a loading zone, you'll skip over Elf and switch to Brittany, but you can guarantee switching to Brittany by pressing your icon on the gamepad. The problem is if you miss the gamepad, you'll pause the game, so it's about even. I don't know. You can do either one. Okay, so for that long whistle, there's a weird exception. It doesn't take your grounded Pikmin, so you have to throw the rocks up here. It seems like it's the only long whistle that works in that way, so it's very weird. Okay, for here, these eggs have a lot of spicy sprays in them, and this has a really high chance of a spicy spray, so I like to throw a Pikmin there. And then I start by throwing 1 bomb rock at the edge of the things that'll spawn the shaggy long legs. Once again, wait until their cry stops before you throw the next one. Use a spicy. Then I can go extra spicy. Okay, so looks like I might have I made a bad recommendation here. I think you want to throw, or normally I think you want to grab more reds. Like I only brought 7. I think you want to bring 9 reds. And that increases the probability of making it past this Just Might. Because I think he can grab a certain number of them. But it's also no big deal that the mango gets stuck here. I can just deal with that at the end of the day. Okay, I got 2 spices from these eggs, so I actually don't need that one. So, here, it's very important that you do not throw 5 wings on either of these, otherwise the wings will lift it up and do a wing carry. And if the wings carry, there's a chance that they get stuck in this gate, and that can kill your run. So you want to do like 1 or 2 rocks and 4 wings for each of those pieces. And then we're going to come over here. We throw all of our bombs at this crystal. If for some reason you don't have any extra bombs, you do have rocks. You can go back and get them off the star fruit and break it with rocks. Now you want to like get an even number of wings on each of the 4 things that you're going to be carrying back. So I have 8 more wings than it says I have here. It says I have 27, so I really have 35. And then you divide that by 4, it's about 9, so I'm going to throw 9 on each of these. It's not that important if you do that math correctly or not. Okay, those things got a little farther than they usually do, but you have to switch to wings here because the grounded carriers have no path that gets them past this bridge. Okay. Then we switch to Alf, and we're going to get the last 2 fruits. Well, and the mango. So, normally the mango would be done, and you're going to have 16 Pikmin here. Because you're going to have 11 from the grapefruit plus the 5 that you put on the mango. I don't know why I have 16 actually. So you run over here. Continue with the whistle because if the wings get hit with water, you want to whistle them back before they die from the water. And then make sure you get 10 on the lemon because the lemon is the slowest thing. It's more important that you get 10 on the lemon than it is you get 6 on the mangosteen. You can actually get away with like 3 on the mangosteen, I'm pretty sure. So you kind of just like, you just hold up on this root and then you like look over here until your nunchuck shakes, and then you press Z. Like the nunchuck will buzz a little bit when you're like hovering over the mangosteen. And once it does that, you just press Z. Okay, I gotta get the mango. So let's do that now. Yeah, this is if they end up dying from that just mine, it's not a big deal. You'll lose a little bit of time, but not a lot. And then once you have all the fruits you need, I needed 12. There's 16 fruits in Distant Tundra, and I collected 4 on day 3, so I'm good with 12. And yeah, a lot of Pikmin are gonna die. All these guys are gonna die. There's like no point in saving them because you only need like 20 wings for day 7, or for Formidable Oak on day 10. And there's not enough time for those grapes to make 2 trips if you do it fast enough, so that's why I throw 20 there. I suppose if you're slow enough at this day, then the grapes could probably make 2 trips. Okay, so Formidable Oak. The worst thing that can happen on Formidable Oak is like you kill all your Pikmin. But I mean, I don't know. Shouldn't happen, right? Hopefully. It also doesn't really matter what types you have. You just need you need 10 yellows. You need some number of rocks, and just a couple of each Pikmin for the Wraith fight. And then you need like 10 wings. Oh, also on day 10, it's important to switch to the Wii remote actually, because if you spam the gamepad, there's a chance that the game can crash when you enter Formidable Oak using the gamepad. I don't know. It's happened to me once. It's happened to Ice Cube on one of his world records, or older records. Okay, I don't really care about my composition. I'm just gonna take... It looks like I got some reds. I think reds are probably the favorite type for this day anyway. So you can see I have 4 spices. I would say you really want to have 1. And then like 2 and 3 are both nice, but 4 is a bit excessive. There's really no use for a 4th spicy. I guess there is one use. I can just use it right now for this part. But having 3 for the Wraith fight is excessive. Spicy Pikmin don't carry objects faster. Or like they don't carry large objects faster. I think they carry like gold pieces and grapes and bridge pieces faster. But that's it. Okay, so we start off by putting 10 wings on Olimar. We're going to switch to yellows. I guess the benefit of using the spicy there is that everything is floured at this point, and therefore faster. So throw 10, at least 10 yellows there. More is preferable because sometimes they don't make it like that. Exactly 10 made it. Whistle all your Pikmin back. So basically throw your yellows up there, whistle them, charge the bag. And then we're going to throw yellows at this guy. And they'll deal with him. Some of them will die, that's fine. Throw 10 on the crystal, and then dismiss. Go get Brittany. You can actually just leave the yellows. Okay, so I'm going to do a backup strat. So normally you can just like walk forward, but there is a chance that this blowhog can get in the way. And if that happens, the best thing to do is just whistle off. Throw 5 reds on him. And then come up here. So like the blowhog might notice and start firing at you. You need to throw Brittany across. Doesn't matter if he's a Charlie or not. Kill the spider. And then switch him back to wings. And stand about here. With Brittany, you want to walk down here. Then long whistle elf. And move on to the next area. You actually don't need elf really, you just need Charlie. And then throw some grounded carriers here. Switch to Charlie. You need 8 wings. Ooh, I only have 6, so I'll have to do a slow backup strat. Oh, I guess this is really slow. If you want to see good execution, watch the world record video. Oops. Alright, I've screwed this up. Okay, there we go. I'll still be fine. But you need 8 to get this clipboard. And you want to throw your 10 grounded carriers up here. Okay, so you need to have Charlie. You grab Brittany. And you have to like be really close to Olimar at this point. So you wait for Olimar until he gets to about here. Then you walk up, you hug this wall, and then there's like a little like point where there's like a corner, and you want to put your cursor about right here. Then dismiss Brittany. That might take you a couple tries. And then you, so I did this really slow. But if you do it fast enough, there's a couple places where the Plasm Wraith can be. If you do it really fast, he'll still be about right here. And in that case, you just dismiss immediately. You can see where he is by looking at the green dot on the gamepad. In the second case, he can be in the loading zone between these 2 caves. If he's there, you have to wait, because if you dismiss at that point, there's a very high chance that when you dismiss Brittany, she's going to respawn over here in this lake. And that's not what you want. The third thing that can happen is he's like past this point because you did it really slow. And if that's the case, I know that if you dismiss right when he crosses like this area where this mushroom is, then you'll be fine. And at any other point, you should just dismiss and it'll either work or it won't. I don't know. We'll see. It's just like random. Okay, so it did work here. So at this point, you want to switch to your grounded carriers. They'll be a little faster, and then you just walk to the end of the cave. I guess if you're really bad, this can happen. So try to be faster. So the main problem that I had was that I didn't get all my wings. I didn't have 8 extra wings. Like you need 10 wings carrying them, and then you need to bring 8 wings in the other cave to lift the clipboard up. So just be conscientious of your wing count. And it looks like I'm going to be fine. I wanted to show you some backup strats that are a little easier. But if you look up... okay, so this is the fastest strat by far to do this clip. But there are backup strats. Like you can do a double throw of flowers. That might even be harder, honestly. And then the easier one is like you can walk up a route that's somewhere in this cave. I think there's a video by Ice Cube that shows how you can do that. If you're interested. If you're really struggling with this clip. personally, I don't think it's that hard. You just like walk into that corner, and you just put your cursor at the exact spot that I did. And if it doesn't work, then you can try it like 10 times, and eventually it'll work. Like, there isn't really that big of a rush. I'm pretty sure the Wraith can't get you when you're like back this area, behind this area. Okay. So, this is the Wraith fight. Oh, I also say, make sure you skip that cutscene. If you, like, in the speedrun, there's no reason you wouldn't, but if you don't skip that cutscene, then I think your Pikmin can die. The ones that get trapped inside of him. So I like to start off the fight by using a spicy. Before he shakes, I whistle, shake again. Pikmin that fall off, I whistle them, and I get them started on the goop. And then I whistle some more, and I get them started on the goop. You're gonna have a lot of deaths. Okay, so he's sucking up. He sucked up a lot of goop. That means I did not do a good job. But normally, he will do a second shake-off cycle before he starts sucking up goop. So that's sort of what I was expecting. So he's probably going to shake off goop again, because he hasn't done it a second time. So whistle off. Next thing he's going to do is he's going to shoot out some sort of elemental hazard. So I'm going to try to destroy as much of the goop as I can, while still keeping enough Pikmin of each type to deal with any of the hazards that come up. And the rock hazard is the hardest one to deal with, that's for sure. You can definitely skip the rock hazard if you feel inclined. Okay, so now he's starting to do his sky phases, which are much easier to deal with. So after he gets off the sky, you destroy all the goop that's under him. And after that, he's going to start spitting out an element, and then he's going to fly again. So first, you shake him. Or you charge at him, then you throw a bunch at the goop underneath, and then you deal with the elemental hazard, in that order. And that increases the probability that he only shoots out a single hazard the next thing he does. Okay, I'm gonna use my final spicy here. So again, I'm just gonna destroy the goop. So he threw out 3. He's at very little health, so I'm actually going to try killing him. I wouldn't recommend trying this. This is a very risky thing to do. Okay, don't do that. That is like technically the fastest thing that you can do. But like, if he sucks up the goop, then you're not going to be able to kill him, and you are going to lose a lot of time because you didn't break any of the 3 things. Yeah, I can't really give you too much advice for the Wraith fight. It's just like, do it a bunch. Like, if you're like decent, you're gonna lose like 30 Pikmin, but that's not even a big deal. If you're bad, the risk is that you don't kill him and you lose like all your Pikmin. So, probably worth practicing a little bit. I recommend, like, there's a lot of instances where the best thing you can do is skip the rock. Like, if you see a crystal and it's like been out for a little while and you don't have enough rock Pikmin in your party, just skip it. Make sure no Pikmin are too close to it to get crushed. Really focus on the goop at the beginning. Unlike what I did, try to focus a little bit more on the goop that's on the ground and spend less time actually attacking him. If you want to see other examples of me fighting the Plasm Wraith, you can look at my PB videos. I don't know. That advice probably isn't too helpful. Okay, so I guess that concludes my All Fruits tutorial video. If you have any questions, you should ask in the Pikmin speedrunning Discord. So there's a Pikmin speedrunning Discord. You can access that on speedrun.com. If you look on the sidebar of speedrun.com, I think one of the forum pages links to the Discord. And you can ask any questions. There's a lot of runners who can answer a bunch of questions. If you want to know the best route, you can look at the current world record video. But just be aware that it uses an older version of the Tropical Wilds route. So, if you look in the Discord, you can see a video of the better Tropical Wilds route, which is the one that I used here. Or you can see a better execution of the route that I used in this tutorial for Tropical Wilds. The world record also uses a different Garden of Hope route. That's a little bit faster, but it's a lot riskier. Because you lose a lot of time if you don't one cycle the Aristocrabs. No, that's not what it's called. I don't know. The bug-eyed Crawmad. If you two cycle him, you lose a lot of time. And if you the strat where you bring like 60 wings to him, it's like a free one cycle every time. Yeah, once again, highly recommend Pikmin Speedrunning Discord if you have any questions. Alright, thanks for watching. Congrats if you made it through this far, and congrats if you complete the 10-day run of all fruits. I think the world record as of this video is 1 hour 23 minutes 44 seconds. Like a decent time for a new runner in this category is probably something like 1 hour 50, and then like if you're an experienced runner, a really good time is something like 1:35. And then of course the world class times are like 1:25 or less. I don't know. I think the potential of this category, like, I would be very surprised if it's possible to get under 1 hour 20 minutes. But I think like 1:21 is definitely possible considering my summer best. Maybe even 1:20. It's tough to say. But yeah, the world record is beatable. Like, that's for sure. If you want a really good challenge, you can try to beat my world record. Alright, yeah. Once again, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.